Hi Oleg, this is Ben with Amtex Equipment. Next to me it is your 2545 stack, which you order from our company. I want to first of all thank you for your business, and I'm looking forward to serve you and your company's needs for years and years to come. This is the very first video that we're doing from a 2545 stack. Up to now you've been noticing different videos in operation as far as the 3047 stack, but this is the first time that we are exposing a video of 2545. So why not just go around the machine and let's learn what your machine is consist of. Starting from the front panel, all the setups are pretty much explanatory. This is when you give water to the unit, either using the freshwater tank, which I've got it hooked up right now, or using a garden hose. Now, if you look to the left side, this is where you fill your freshwater tank, which right next to it there is two extra pressure output in case if you want to have a dual action capability for your machine, and also be able to have your partner do any kind of pre-treatment or inline injection while you're doing a cleaning of in another area of the property that you're doing. You do have two vacuum ports, which one of them is plugged to create a suction. However, you can always use both of them, combine them together, or have two different directions going to two different technician going to two different directions and doing dual action cleaning. And now coming around here, this is where you increase or decrease your pressure by simply, if you turn it clockwise while the machine is running. Right now the pressure shows 0 because the system is off, but once you start the machine it should go up already to 600 where we set it, because we're about to show you its power as far as doing carpet cleaning. In case if you want to increase it, you simply turn it clockwise, or to decrease it, you simply turn it counterclockwise. Now coming back towards the left side of the machine, this hose is being provided for you in case if you want to do any kind of acid or detergent injection. You simply unravel it from here and put it inside of your chemical bucket. This hose with a cap end is where you drain your engine oil in case if you want to change it, so you don't go through making a mess. Now, if we follow this hose, it will end up into the freshwater tank, which is going to fill the freshwater tank. Now, coming up to the left side towards the back, this is an expansion tank. And inside of this tank, there is air pressure. So one of the best ways to set it correctly for this system is when the system is off and it's not running or it has not ran, you can use any kind of air gauge that you can use for the vehicle's air pressure for the tires. Just simply by unscrewing the cap, you'll be able to simply measure it. It should show you about 38 psi. If it's less, add to it, but do not put more than 38 psi air inside of this, because then it will interfere with the operation of the flow jet pump, which is on the other side. Now here's your tank with the recovery tank of 80 gallon with exterior filter housing. It's very simple to be undone. You simply unscrew the union here in case if you want to get it out occasionally and clean it, because it does get dirty eventually. Now your air valve is set at 15 inch of mercury. Here's your battery, very accessible. Your 12 DC flow jet pump, which is already set up and ready to go, which you do control it by this toggle switch in the front. Now every electric system on this machine, the only way for them to come alive if you turn the ignition on. When you turn the ignition on, because we had just ran it to preheat it to see its power to you, you do have pressure inside the system because of that blue tank. But if you want to use your freshwater tank, all you got to do is just simply turn the pump on. Now the reason it's not running, like I said, because the system is already pressurized. I'm going to go ahead and start it for you. And before I go any further, as far as checking your oils, if you come this way, it's very accessible. You can simply check it here. This engine takes 2 quarts of 10W30, and your pump, you should be able to see it through this little window right here. Of course, you can check it with a dipstick. If you want to drain it, you drain it from there, and of course you fill it from the top. Now, if you notice, while we're here, you see an extra belt. This is for you later on if you ever want to change this belt for the pump. You don't have to remove any kind of engine or blower or anything. Simply just undo it, pull it forward, cut that old belt out. After so many hundreds of hours that you're going to use it, simply use that belt that's already on a standby and waiting for you. We're going to go ahead and start it because we're on a limited time, and we're going to show you its power. Just like any other engine, again, this is your throttle handle, which is pointing straight. and you do have your choke handle, which is bent upwards for you to be able to distinguish in between both of them. So if you look down here, here's your throttle handle, which shows throttle for the slow speed, and of course rabbit for fast. The position of the choke handle to the right is open. If you notice, the throttle, the carburetor throat is wide open. And of course, if you move it to the left, which is going to be at the moment of the start off, you're choking it in order to get extra fuel to be sucked in to fire up. Okay, in order to start, everything to the right. From the rest position, again, move the throttle handle a little bit to the left. Move the choke all the way to the left. As you're cranking, open the choke. If the engine is cold, just like I've explained in other videos, kind of move the choke to the center. You're going to start seeing the machine start running rich. In other words, it's going to start getting extra fuel in to be able to be operational in a cold climate. So when it's cold, once you start it, you bring the choke to the center, and then after letting it run for a few seconds rich, you go ahead and open it. Anyway, again, everything to the right. Move it to the left a little bit, your throttle. Choke all the way to the left as you're cranking, open. You know, it's a very smooth running system. You do have a 45 blower, which it all depends on the speed. It is rated to create almost 400 cubic feet of air per minute. It is an excellent single action machine, and this unit could be used to use a short distance dual action to do big houses or large commercials and what have you. Well, I've already run the system, so you don't have to wait around. I'm gonna go ahead and increase the RPM to about 2,900 to 3,000. We're gonna go to the one, show the power of your machine, come back out and show you how to shut it down, and we say goodbye from Houston. Let's go. In order to increase the RPM, always use your 4 fingers as a support, use your thumb. Do not just hold on to the throttle handle. So 4 fingers right here with your thumb, slowly move up and look at your tachometer. Blower. Again, you can run it faster if you want. Remember, our machine, when you run them fast, they do create more suction, more heat, more flow, and what have you. We're going to go ahead and hook it up to the one. Just like the other videos, I'm going to open the bypass on the one to get my hot water to me. Never choke your machine, never suffocate it. Always allow it to breathe if you're not using it. We're going to go ahead and start bypassing. It takes a while for the water to get to you because it's about 100 feet away from the machine. You're just gonna wait. And as you're bypassing, in other words, you're allowing the water to get sucked back in, the hot water is gonna arrive to the point that you can't hold on anymore. Almost there. There you go. This is the beginning of your hot water. There you go. Vacuum. I'll get the camera up. You see, as you move in the one, the air enters into the one. But if you happen to want to answer a phone, when you want to be away from the one, never leave the one choking. Always allow it to breathe. That way you don't wear your drive system, which is between the engine and the blower. Okay, again, we're going to go. As I explained in my prior videos, you can do single shot as you pull spray, as you go forward, you vacuum. It is always good to flush the system free of the first beginning hot water that you made. How? By doing a section continuously. Now take a look. Anybody get here? Let's go. Vacuum. Every time you want to do a next section of cleaning, kind of overlap it. Don't start from here. Kind of go into the cleaning area. Do not just go to the edge. That way you don't create no water stains. You know, these are very powerful single action machines. Take a look. That's why I love the combination of 25 and a 45. It's a beautiful single action machine for a single operator. Take a look. Again, vacuum. Now, for any reason, if you have to be away from the wall for a long time, not to move furniture and what have you, or apply some kind of spot treatment, you know you're going to be away from the wand and you're not going to be using it for 5 or 10 minutes. It's always good to allow the machine to start disposing its hot water. How much, it doesn't matter, as long as you give water movement to exit the unit. Look. That allows the unit to remain neutral till you come back. We're going to go right now and show you the shower procedure. Again, the correct position for the wand is this way, that way the wand can breathe. Since we're going outside to cool it off, we don't need to use this valve anymore. We leave it, we go. Degrees. First thing you do, you lower the RPM. That's step number one. Is very important because you're allowing the machine to start relaxing. You don't need it to work hard anymore because there's no suction and no heat need anymore. You're done with the job. Next thing you do is to allow all the hot water to exit. So of course you're going to drill a hole through the floor for safety. I'm just going to hold it here. Your machine has still got 200 and some degree in it. Well, it looks like they're telling me we're running out of the battery on our phone, so we're going to go ahead and show you the next step, which is shutdown. It's very simple. Take a look. Once the temperature is cool, it's all going down. Simply increase the RPM. Shut down. Now, if it's the last job of the day, you can always spray some WD-40 in here to keep your blower lubricant. Okay, look like we're almost out of the battery in that camera, so I'm just gonna say goodbye from Houston. I wanna thank you again, and this machine is gonna be on the road to you on Monday, which once it leaves, I will provide you with the tracking number. Thank you, Oleg. Bye-bye.